In today's wrap-up, the Yes campaign of the upcoming April constitutional referendum was launched. Ryanair has announced that its flights to Armenia from Rome and Milan have been suspended till April 8th. 28-year-old Jagat Petrosyan has been charged with the murder of a woman and the brutal beating of her daughter. The Jagat Marchers have called on the world's nations to recognize the Armenian Genocide. And former Sevilla coach Kaparos is Armenia's national soccer team's new coach.
Welcome to Daily Armenia, where we unwrap the news of the day. Today is March the 11th, and here's what you need to know and why. The Yes campaign for the upcoming constitutional referendum in April has launched.
The Yes campaign of the upcoming April constitutional referendum has been launched. The referendum regards the suspension of the powers of 7 of the 9 judges of the Constitutional Court, which the government accuses of being the last bastion of the old regime. Nikol Pashinyan wrote on his Facebook page that he is taking a vacation to fully involve himself in the campaign. Pashinyan also published a 6-point declaration stressing that all the elections in Armenia since 1995, except the parliamentary elections of 1999, were rigged. He stressed the importance of free and fair elections as a prerequisite for the country's further development. Deputy Prime Minister Tigran Afeyan will take on the roles of the Prime Minister while he is on vacation. Ryanair has suspended flights to Rome and Milan from Armenia until April 8th. The announcement came amid a total lockdown in Italy due to the coronavirus outbreak, which has left 631 people dead. These disruptions have come just as Armenian airports started to receive flights from European budget airlines, with Ryanair having plans to start flights to Berlin, Cyprus and Greece later this year. The coronavirus outbreak has caused other flight suspensions, with flights to Tel Aviv, Lyon and Tehran also suspended. 28-year-old Jagat Petrosyan has been charged with the murder of a 43-year-old woman and severely beating her 13-year-old daughter in Gyumri. The girl has been transported to an intensive care unit in Yerevan. She is now able to speak. Moreover, she is now breathing by herself and the ventilator she was using has been removed. Protests against femicide and violence against women took place in reaction, in a case that has provoked much outrage. Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan visited the girl, saying her and her mother were not only victims of violence but also of the opinion that violence against women can be justified. Furthermore, relatives of the murdered woman have refused to organize her funeral or adopt her daughter. The Jagat Marchers are a group of 50 people from India, Canada, Argentina, France and Spain marching for peace and justice. They arrived in Armenia in mid-February and walked 340 kilometers through the country. Yesterday, they went to the ancient monastery on Khor Virap, on the slope of the Ararat mountain, and made a declaration calling for the nations of the world to recognize the Armenian Genocide. They also wrote a letter addressed to the Indian Parliament requesting the government recognize the genocide.
And finally, the Armenian Football Federation has announced that Joachim Kaparos will be appointed as the new head coach of the Armenian national soccer team.
Kaparos previously managed numerous Spanish clubs, including Atletico Bilbao and Sevilla. Kaparos is the Armenian national team's 3rd head coach appointed in the past year.
Kaparos' health has been put into question after he was diagnosed with chronic leukemia back in April. The Oldest Armenian Manuscript has been restored and is being exhibited in the Matenadaran, the Institute of Ancient Manuscripts.
Written in 981 and decoded this year, Matenadaran provided the public with its 2,679th handwritten manuscript and the first known Armenian manuscript. The manuscript is a unique work, with many secular, scientific and historical contents, instead of just religious. The manuscript has been kept in the Matenadaran's restoration department for the last 2 years in order to properly restore the parchments. It will now join the existing exhibits to become the oldest Armenian addition to Matenadaran's collection.
And finally, Civilnet's Vardan Petrosyan spoke to Noubar Afeyan, a co-founder of Moderna, a company looking for a vaccine for the coronavirus.
In fact, in late February, Moderna announced that it had shipped the first batch of its clinic-bound vaccine. Afeyan answered questions regarding the process and progress of attaining a vaccine for COVID-19, as well as what the experience was like for the team working on the vaccine.
With the race on to find a vaccine for COVID-19, Civilnet will update you on the progress Moderna is making. And that's it for this edition of Daily Armenia. Thank you for joining us on Civilnet.